Okay, we're gonna jump right into it. Here are my muslin for the shorts. So if I stand back, let's see if I can show you. Pockets, beautiful, love that. And the fit around the waist is beautiful. I love it. I was a little nervous. I initially was going to go up a size, but decided to go with the 24. Now hopefully you can see we got a lot of baggy. So I don't have that big of a rounded protruding booty, and so all of this I need to take a lot of this out. The front is just a little on the saggy side, so I'm gonna turn these inside out. Well, I'm gonna see, either I'm gonna turn them inside out and pin it to determine how much, or just play around with it and see. But yeah, we got baggy here, so I need to take out some, because there is a shorten. Let me show you the pattern. I did trace it, so there is a shorten and lengthen line here. I'm fine with the length here. It's around this crotch area. Either I need to take in a little bit just in the back, so it's down here, it's not so much up here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pin that out and figure out, do I just need to take some out of here and just, yeah. Okay, I will let you know what happens. Okay, so I took out some of the, let me see if I can show you. I know this is a wild print, but I took out, it was more bagginess back here. So I took some of that out, and I've determined that I also need to take out about, that's about a ½ inch in my crotch depth. And so where I got that from is a couple things. I have this book, one of my subscribers actually sent it to me. It's this Sewing Pants That Fit book, and I also have the Pants for Real People book. Plus, for many of you, you know that I have made pants from my block, although my block is way too big right now. But yeah, I have to take out some of the crotch depth. I did take out some of that bagginess in the back. I'll show you how much I took out, but I still have to take out, I think I said a ½ inch. I have to take out 1 inch actually. And yeah, that is what I have determined. Let me show you how much I took out on the inside. Okay, so what I did was go back in and took out some of that excess fabric that was in the lower part of the butt area, and just to see what happened. And it did help. However, it does not negate the fact that I definitely need to take 1 inch out of that crotch area. Again, these are just muslin, so they're fine and they're wearable. But anyway, so yeah, I am going to, even for the muslin, I'm going to unpick just this bottom area and scoop out that excess fabric, and just and I know these are serger seams, which is fine. I'm just gonna sew and then unpick this corner down here, because I'll just research this area. But that's what I'll do for the muslin. But for the actual pattern piece, I am going to need to take out so for the pattern piece, the front and back, there is a lengthen and shorten at the crotch. I'm just going to take out 1 inch based on where I pinned. And sorry I couldn't show you where I pinned at. It was just already hard enough trying to pin myself inside those shorts. But I am going to take 1 inch out. And I'm gonna measure about how much I came in here and just go in just a little bit there, and that should do the trick. So yeah, just those 2 adjustments I need to make to the front and back, and I think that's it. I will come back and let you know if there is something different I need to do. So at first did the scoop out. I just marked it, I didn't cut it. Then I raised this by 1 inch and made a hinge here and just moved this up 1 inch because the side was fitting fine. And so now I'm going to cut this piece out, and I'm going to shorten it also in the same area on the front. Okay, so I did a quick new muslin without the waistband, no pockets, just to make sure that adjustment worked. And I know this is a busy print, but there isn't that extra that was all down in here is gone. And I don't know if you can tell from the back, I'm trying to see what kind of angle, I don't know if that helped, but and granted, the waistband with the elastic will bring this up and in, but I don't know if you, yeah, I know, sorry, this is a scrap fabric, but the extra in the butt is gone. All of that scooping out I did and raising that crotch by, let me see, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but everything around here fits beautifully. I sat down in them. Nothing was riding up or feeling uncomfortable. So yeah, time to finish the fashion pair. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I switched things up just a little bit today because I just wanted to jump right into this review. I am so excited, so excited. I'm looking a little crooked. Let me fix that. Okay, I am so excited. I have been, this look has been etched in my mind. So as you saw, I jumped in with the Calder shorts and pants. Yeah, it was a process, but first, welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and thank you for those who continue to tune in from week to week. I greatly appreciate it. By the way of styling, let me just get that out of the way for this particular look. I decided to keep it super duper simple. If you saw my video I just posted on Sunday using the color wheel to select your fabrics and your accessories. That video was just up a couple days ago. If you did not see it, go check that out. Very good video, if I don't say so myself, because I've always wanted a color wheel for a while. And so yeah, go ahead, go check that out. But I'm just going to get into it because I have a lot to say about both of the patterns, and so I didn't want this video to be too long. But anyway, let's start out with the Calder shorts. So for sizing, both of these looks are from the Eloquii virtual shopping that we did. If you all remember that, I will link to that video. There were several looks. This was not one of them, but if you recall from that video, there was a look that I liked that I thought was so cute. I will pop the picture up here. But I didn't select it as one of the looks to recreate because of the top. I wasn't quite certain about the top, but then one of my subscribers had told me about the stylish top, and we will talk about it. But let's get to the shorts first. Now the shorts I had already talked about in both my virtual shopping with Eloquii, and then also remember my mood board. There were 2 parts to the mood board, and and I've talked about the different patterns and things that I was going to use. So one of the patterns through those videos that I knew that I was going to use more than once is the Cashmerette Calder pants and shorts pattern. This pattern was released in April of this year, and then also it goes up to her new sizing. So if anybody who subscribed to Cashmerette, if you're subscribed to her YouTube channel or to just her email list, you know that her sizing she's been updating a lot of her older patterns with the extended size range. So this pattern do go up to a size 32, and it is labeled as I believe this one is labeled as a advanced beginner. Yes, I'm just looking at my notes. I did view C of this look. Now just a little bit about the sizing. The sizing again goes up to a 32. So for me, what I did, because when you look at the sizing for if you've ever sewn Cashmerette pants before, now she has her skirt, the Ellis skirt, she has the jean pattern, which you already know that I made those, and then she has the shorts here, the pants and shorts. She breaks them out into the pear shape or the it's either pear shape or apple, and so for me I picked pear shape because usually for me it is more gaping in the back area than anything for me. And also I noticed from doing the jeans that the area around the hip is usually something, I am wider in the hip area, so I just need to make sure that that fit around the area is good for me. So I was comfortable with just picking the pair out the gate because I had made the jeans before. And so for the sizing, what I looked at the finished garment measurements in addition to the body measurements. So my waist currently is a 45 and my hips are a 52. So for me, that equaled about the size 24. So because there is a back elastic waistband, the finished garment measurements tell you with the waistband stretched what that measurement is. And so based on all of that, I decided to go with the size 24, a straight 24. I just wanted to see how that would look on me, where everything would sit, making sure I had enough room in my hips. And because of the elastic in the back, I wasn't overly concerned about fit back there because it is elastic. There is an elastic chart in the pattern. Usually when patterns have elastic charts and kind of help you determine how much elastic to use, I usually don't go off of those because it's not a 1-for-1. You just kind of need to know how snug you want your elastics to fit. It's a flat front, elastic back, which I absolutely love about this pattern. There are no zippers, there are no buttons, there are no fasteners, just elastic. And you need to be able to pull these puppies up over your hips. And so yeah, I was very excited about this project. So for me, like I said, I chose a straight 24. I almost chose a 26, but again, I'm looking between the finished garment measurements and the actual measurements for the body measurements, and so I figured for me what would work is the size 24. And so as you can tell in the previous clip, that worked for me. However, I had a lot of it looked just saggy booty back there, saggy, and I actually have them sitting right here. And yes, for those who are paying attention, I did not do this in typical muslin order. Depending on what I'm making, I will just make the thing straight up just so I can get an understanding of flow of construction, how it's coming together, how I might like it on me. I don't always, for some, you notice for some patterns when I do muslins, I only do certain parts of the pattern just to figure out the fit. But for something like this, I was like, you know what, I'm comfortable with Cashmerette. I'm just going to go ahead and just make a full pair. We'll see how they look, and then I can determine what I'm going to do. So you saw in that those clips, this is these are my muslin, which I am going to make actually a tank to go with this. This will be my weekend evening kind of, if I need to run to the grocery store type thing, that I'll just pop on, because they worked. And actually this fabric is curtains. Oh, I need to get back to my thrift fabric shopping. But anyway, these are just some curtains, some old curtains, and so yeah, it really worked. You saw that there was just a lot, it was baggy back there, and I did go back in, and as you saw, went back in and shaved off some. I actually picked apart, if I didn't say that, I had picked apart the whole seam. Yes, it was all serged, but it was easy to unpick all of that. I have a serger seam ripper, and I unpicked all of that, took out that extra bagginess back there, and just sewed the crotch seams and everything back up. It worked out perfect. And so you saw with my second, now when I decided to do that second muslin, yes, again, not in typical order, I did not on my second one put the waist excuse me, the waistband in. For me, I didn't need to. Didn't make sense for me to do that. I knew how the waist was going to fit, so I did not have to worry about it. But with those adjustments, as you saw that I made in the pattern, taking out that inch in the crotch seam, and I have the pattern here. It's the, just to refresh your memory, there's a shorten and lengthen line down here by the leg, and then up here near the crotch area. So I took out that 1 inch in the crotch for the front and back piece, and shaved off, was able to measure and shave off that extra in the back. And as you can tell by, and I know it was a little bit of a busy print, but as you can tell, I didn't bother with pockets or anything on this muslin. I just wanted to make sure that the fit around the hips and butt and everything in the crotch in the front were good. I am not one who likes, and you saw by the video and some pictures I'll pop up, I'm not one who likes my pants to cup my butt. I know a lot of people might like that look. I'm not one. I still like it loose, not baggy like it was, but I still like it relatively loose back there. That's just my own personal comfort. So definitely decide for yourself what you might want to do. Now, what I want to say about the instructions are super duper easy. When I first did the shorts from beginning to end, it took me about 4 hours, and I will say it was because I was, I did the adjustments. I'm talking about with the adjustments and everything. It took me about 4 hours to do after everything was cut out and I started to sew it. Now when I made my final pair, my denim pair, here, this took me 2 hours, maybe about 2 hours to do, and I love it. The fabric that I chose, and I'll get into more of the instructions here, but the fabric that I chose is from my stash, and I don't know where this came from. I feel like this was some leftover denim from Minerva Crafts, that project I did. I think. But I had just enough to make the shorts, and you need only, I think, well, what I had is 2.5 yards of fabric, and it was a good 60 inches wide, so it worked perfectly. And I absolutely love the finish. I love the way the elastic came out. I did use 2-inch elastic that I also had in my stash, and I just love the way it fits. Now I don't have this on because I want to talk about the inside. Let me finish my thoughts with the instructions. There's only 6 pieces. The instructions are very, very simple. As you start the project, read through the instructions, because what she has you start out doing is putting the darts in the back legs first, and then sewing the crotch seam. Then she has you switch to sewing the inseam of, no, I'm sorry, the crotch seam of the front pants, and then going back sewing the crotch seam of the front pants. The front pants first, and then the back. Just after you do your darts for your back, go ahead and sew up the crotch seam, and then sew up your crotch seam of your front, so you don't have to necessarily go back and forth. So when you go through the instructions, you'll notice little things like that, like it's really step by step, do this, do that, but you'll see where you'll be able to combine steps a little easier, and then that makes the process a lot faster. True to Cashmerette form, as with her jean pattern, I'm going to turn these inside out so you can see the inside of the garment. Let me just make sure you see the pretty side of your pocket. The inside of your garment, you see the pretty side of your pocket. That's exactly how Jenny did with the jeans. When she have you put in the pockets on the inside of the garment, you will see the pretty side of your pocket. You don't see the wrong side. So that is nice and typical, definitely. For finishing off, I did serge everything. My hems I actually turned under, so it's just a nice clean hem. Again with the pockets, and I like the way the pockets go in, because you do the pocket is laying flush up against the front side of the short, which I really like. So I like the way that that is finished. It's a really nice simple finish. So let me show you the inside of the pocket. Oh yeah, so here's this is the wrong side of the pocket lining, and that's the pocket bag. And again, these pockets, I love the Cashmere pockets. They're always so nice and deep. And then you have the pocket facing, which I like. So when you look initially at the side of the shorts, you see there the pocket facing, and then you have the pocket bag, which is the wrong side of the fabric on the inside. There is nothing I would change on this. The only thing I would have to worry about changing is sizing, continuing to take my measurements and things of that nature. And so yeah, to make sure my sizing is good, whip up another quick muslin just to make sure the fit is there. But yes, I absolutely love these shorts, and because I'm using this same pattern for several different looks, my ready to wear looks, I'm good to go with making these. Oh, I just love the way these worked out. Now initially I was going to use the fabric that I use for my style arc top, but yeah, I decided to use the denim instead because I don't have any denim shorts. And so I thought, you know what, I want some denim shorts, because denim shorts go with everything, right? And so so yeah, so that is it. If you have any particular questions on the Calder shorts, definitely let me know. But when I say it is an easy make, just do your fit, just do your muslin fit, figure out okay where you need to take in, if you need to take in anywhere. And again, for the elastic, what I did was, I think for my size it said 20.5 inches. That was just too much elastic, so I went down to 19 inches to put back here in the elastic. And that, I just like the way that hugs back there a little more. It's not as much elastic, or it'd have been more loose back there. So definitely you can measure that before you cut your elastic. Measure it across the back to see if you think you would like the snugness that you will get. And again, you can always make a muslin, a pair that you can just wear around the house or on the weekends like I am, so you can get an idea of what your fit will be. So let's switch over to style arc. Okay everybody, this was my first time making a style arc pattern. And when y'all know when I got the pattern, it's the Jules woven tunic. When I purchased it and not just purchased this one last month, after I did the Eloquii shopping video, but I was like, y'all know when I did the haul, when I looked at the instructions, I was like, who is that? Is that all we working with in the diagram? I was like, oh, I was nervous. I was so nervous. And then add on top of that, I was nervous because this sizing, the sizing, at least for this pattern, so you all tell me in the comments below if it's different for other patterns from Stylark, but the measurements are only for finished garment measurements. And I was like, oh, that's not telling me how much ease is in this thing. And so it took me a minute to really look and figure out what did I want to do. And I had already predetermined I wasn't going to do a muslin, and this is why. Based on the shape, and I'll pop up a picture of the pattern. Based on the shaping of the pattern, it's not anything that was supposed to be fitted. And it's not anything that's overly baggy. So I was like, okay, if it's loose, I'm fine. And I'll just have to make sure I pick the right finished garment measurement. And so the sizing for this particular pattern from Stylark is really good. Again, another good plus size pattern. It starts from a bust of 33.5 and goes all the way up to a 61 3/8. I was like, okay, that is a really good range. So what I decided to do was, let me look at my notes here. Because my bust is now a 50 and waist 45, hip 52, I decided to go with a straight 22. And the straight 22 gives me a bust of 52, so I know that's giving me at least 2 inches of ease in the bust. My waist seam, it says 54, and then it says, did it give a hip? So I knew that it would drape out, right? And so at around that waist and hip area, so I was like, ooh, that seemed like a lot of room in that waist hip, but I'm gonna trust it and roll with it because it's the movement of the garment. So that's what I decided to do. And the other thing I looked at, because typically, you all know, now that I'm used to doing adjustments and patterns, I can look at, especially the shoulder area is usually a concern for me, if it's going to drop off or something like that. And so I thought by looking at the pattern, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do a narrow shoulder adjustment. No big deal, I can do that. But after I measured everything out, it turns out I did not have to do a narrow shoulder adjustment. I actually measured on the pattern instead of worrying about trying to do a muslin. I just measured on the pattern and did not have to do that. And so, so yeah, I was super excited about that. The fabric, again, that I used is this. This is the rayon linen that I had purchased from Joann Fabrics about 2-3 months ago. And so that is the fabric I chose for this project. Now again, I was supposed to do my Calder shorts in this, but because it has the linen in it, I was really nervous about it stretching and bagging out. Even though it has a good amount of rayon content in it, I was like, oof. So I decided, nope, I'm gonna do the denim, and then I'll do the top in this. Initially I was going to do the top in this. This is a little more lightweight. This is a linen blend from So Much Fabric, but which I like the tone of it. However, I didn't have enough, and you need 3 yards for this tunic top, and I just did not have enough. I think I only had 2 1/4 yards of that, so I did not have enough. But you ever have that project in your head where you want to make it? This was one of those projects. Granted, like I said, it wasn't part of my Eloquii recreation look that I chose, but I could not get that look out of my head. And I just loved the top, and so I said, okay, let me put it together. So I absolutely love this top. I love this top so much, so much. I love this top so much, so I am making another one. I'll probably have it made before the end of the month. It'll probably be in my July makes video, but I'm going to make it out of this. Remember, this is also fabric from, this is that cotton voile I picked up from So Much Fabric as well, and I initially was going to use it for a dress. I said I'll figure out something to use it for. I'm using it for this Stylark top. I absolutely love this top. I love the way it came together. Let me tell y'all about these instructions. I am so shocked. I am one of those who like, I want to see the pictures next to the words, and I want to be able to, you know, flow like that as I'm sewing. All this flipping back and forth to a graph and all that, I usually don't like that. But I must say, Style Art did their thing on this. I rarely had to look at, because the pattern construction, there's a diagram in there. I rarely had to look at that, because the instructions, and as sparse as these instructions are, I mean, it's not a lot of words, it's only 15 steps. But I had no problem putting this thing together, and I am so, and part of that is due to having, you know, sewn and have sewn projects at different intermediate level, advanced beginner level. So yeah, I am so surprised, because I think I had in the back of my head very little instructions. This thing, who knows how this is going to come together, but it worked out beautifully. I had to just make sure I was using the right seam allowance, because the seam, I had a little trouble finding the seam allowance initially in here, because it's very little and you kind of scanning over things. So, but I did find it was only 3/8 of an inch for everything. I don't have a lot of notes about the instructions. The only thing with the instructions, she does not tell you how to finish off the seams. And so if you're looking for finishing techniques, you're not gonna, at least not in this pattern. You all have to tell me if in other patterns she has suggestions. And okay, sorry about that, but yeah, you have to let me know if she has others in her other patterns. She has suggestions on how to finish off seams. So for me, let me just share with you how I finish things off. Buttonholes, everything went in good. As you can, I think I've been popping up pictures, but the placket, everything meets up nice. So for me, the way I decided to finish off, like the hem, I folded it under to finish it off. For the inside, and shout out if you all are following Tip Stitch, Tiffany from Tip Stitch here on YouTube. She just did a video. It was so long, but she had this tip in there about facing pieces and how to finish them off. She believes she had gotten the tip from Erica Bunker, and we all know who Erica Bunker is on Instagram. But there was this tip on the facing. So let me just show you my facing piece. This is how yeah, my marking is still there. I can't show you this side because that is stitched down, but how I finished off the facing piece, it looks so good, doesn't it? It's not serged. What I did was the interfacing piece, for the facing piece, I put them what will be right sides together, and then stitched at 3/8 of an inch, and then folded I should have took pictures, then folded the facing to the sides where you then interface the pieces together. So it gave you this really nice, and let me show you, this really nice clean finish. So you're not seeing having to worry about a serge seam or even binding. You can do binding too, but I thought that was such a nice tip, so I went ahead and used it. So thank you, tip. I will be using that in all of my garments because I like that. For the inside, I have a lot of loose threads here, but that's okay. The inside of the garment, again, she doesn't tell you to serge or anything, so I did serge everything aside from, so you'll see everything on the inside is serged aside from the placket, the button placket. You would normally serge around here, and you would have seen that. I didn't want any raw edges or serge edge showing on the inside for my button placket, so I turned my button placket in 1/4 of an inch, and then I stitched, because you do top stitch this down, and these are functional buttons. I would not put this over my head because again, it has that linen in it. I don't want to stretch out the linen by keep just pulling it on and over my head. So these are functional buttons on the front. But the thing is, I didn't want, as you can tell, I didn't want this to be a serged edge on the inside. I wanted a nice clean finish, so I turned the edge of my facing inward by 1/4 of an inch, and then I did the top stitching, because you do top stitching on the front all the way around. And so yeah, I am excited to make the next one. And you know what, this fabric goes with my jeans. I can wear it with my jeans. I love this. And same thing with my hem for my sleeve. I just turned it under. I wanted a nice clean finish. So yeah, that is it. This is one of my recreated looks. I am so happy with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hopefully I had been popping up a lot of pictures, but yeah, I absolutely love this. And I'm telling you, between my Eloquii looks, my mood board looks, my lounging sewing plans, my bra making plans, I like having different things that I can just switch to. I don't, like you all know, I don't do monthly plans, because no, I want to switch it up. And you know, something comes out and you're like, ooh, squirrel, I'm gonna make that. So yeah, but anyway, I am loving how this turned out. You all have to let me know, did I get it? Did I hit it on the mark? I wasn't going for the color because I don't wear white. I don't like white, but wearing white clothes, because yeah, they will get dirty as soon as I put the thing on. But yeah, I am so happy with how this has turned out. And yeah, expect more tops, and of course I'm making more shorts for sure. And so I think that is it. Make sure you stay tuned. I have a very exciting video coming up on Sunday. Been a long time in the making, and so I am excited about sharing what I have coming up. And so yeah, you will see that video on Sunday. But thank you everybody for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, we will see you on Sunday. Bye.